I've got an announcement today, but I want to give you a little bit more wisdom before we talk about that. I want to talk today just a little bit about the Sabbath. Now, we know that God laid the groundwork for the Sabbath very early in Genesis. We know that he created everything in 6 days, and then on the seventh, he rested. Now, at this point, the Sabbath has not yet been defined for us. At this point, God is establishing the Sabbath by setting the example personally. Later on, in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, it's further defined and refined to be a holy time to pray, reflect, rejuvenate, and to not work all of the time. The Sabbath is one of the 10 Commandments. This is not only something that God commands us to do, it's something that he set the example for us to do. God wants us to pay attention here. So that being said, let's fast forward to a more modern day term rooted in the Sabbath called a sabbatical. A sabbatical is a tool used in a number of occupations, but you find it particularly in education and in ministry. Today's view of a sabbatical is time away from work where you can separate yourself from the day-to-day concerns and objectively grow personally and professionally. It lets you gain perspective through distance. And of course, there's time for rest. This is not a new concept. It's widely used, and it's very effective. You can also see there are a lot of kingdom values in a sabbatical. The sabbatical is a tool that the elder board and the advisory team before us has always wanted to implement as part of our pastoral care. Today, I'd like to announce that we've made that a reality. Throughout September and October, Steve will be taking an 8-week sabbatical where he will be away from the church family. He will step away from the church. He's going to have this opportunity to pursue some personal and professional and spiritual growth, and of course, some time to rest. Just as Jesus was known to separate himself from everyone else to pursue prayer, perspective, objectivity, and rest, Steve will do much the same. He is going to take the opportunity to educate himself, to follow the lead of a professional coach, and to advance his organizational and spiritual leadership skills. Now, this probably concerns some of you, but there's some things that I want to make sure you're very clear about. Okay, first of all, it may seem a little abrupt, but you have to understand that the advisory team started talking about this probably 3 or 4 years ago. And since then, it has been discussed, looked at, researched, planned, and well laid out. This is not taken lightly. Steve's day-to-day duties will be absorbed by Ryan, Kyle, and the rest of the very capable staff. The elders and the rest of our ministry leaders will fill in where necessary. Now, I want to be very clear. Steve will not be present during this sabbatical. For it to be effective, he has to stay away, and we have to let him stay away. Now, we may make some exceptions for particularly large events like weddings or funerals, but we'll deal with those when and if, and hopefully they don't come up. Okay? Now, the last thing that I want to say, well, the second to last thing that I want to say, and I want to be very clear about this one. I want all of you to resist the very worldly view that when someone like me stands in front of a group like you and starts talking about people taking a leave, that there's something going on that we're not telling you. Okay? There's nothing between the lines here. Don't read there. There's nothing there. Okay? There's nothing negative. Number one, we're not that creative. And number two, it's true. Number two, we respect you as our church family way too much to hide or keep anything from you. Okay? Now, I got one more note. And this one, I did not share with Steve when we laid out what this announcement's going to look like, but I believe it gives great context to this sabbatical. Steve is on board with this. He sees the value in this. He's very excited about this, mainly because of some of the really exciting growth experiences that he has created. But you have to know, it took a very long time to talk Steve into this. And the reason is because he loves his church family. I firmly believe there is nobody except God above who can love this church family as much and as willing as this man is to love this church family. It's going to be, yes. This is going to be difficult for him. He did not take this lightly. As I kill him right now, and now I can't look at him because he's going to kill me too. He did not take this lightly. We did not take this lightly. We know this is going to have an impact on all of us, but it's going to have a very positive impact, and that's the word that I want you to leave you with. Let's see if I can find my notes again. Thanks to looking at him. Everything about this is going to be positive, but we all have a role. Steve is going to go and grow, and he's going to come back a better pastor, rejuvenated, with new ideas, with perspective. Ryan has amazing opportunity to take over most of the role of the lead pastor. Kyle and the staff, they're going to hold this thing together. Our staff is amazing. They have incredible capabilities, and the elders and the rest of the ministry leaders will jump in and help out as we need. And more importantly, you all have your part too. I predict during the 8 weeks that the attendance, the giving, and the overall engagement of this church family will not decrease one bit. That is your role. I'm looking forward to this. I believe we're all going to grow from this experience. Now, I know that you may have questions. It's going to take a little while for some of this to soak in. If you do have questions, you have concerns, I want you to come to me or one of the other elders. We would be happy to talk to you about this. We'd be happy to explain it. If you want to go into depth as to why we're doing this, feel free to ask us. We're all very in tune with this. We're very all on board with this. So we want to talk with you if you're concerned. All right? This is an exciting time. We're very excited for Steve. This is going to be good for all of us. So we're looking forward to your feedback. We're looking forward to this wonderful time of growth.